Good morning. So today we are going to discuss about seed legislation system in India. So the last three classes we are discussing that seed legislation system in India. The first we started with that Seed Act 1966, then Seed Rule 1968. So in continuation of that seed legislation system in India, so today we are going to discuss about that Seed Control Order 1983. So before getting into that Seed Control Order 1983, I wanted to give you some information regarding that Essential Commodities Act 1955, because Essential Commodity Acts and that Seed Control Order have a very close linkage. So you must know that things related to that Essential Commodities Act 1955. So that Essential Commodities Act was passed in the year 1955. So that here they given what all the commodities comes under this particular act. So as on date, this particular act have that covers around 15 number of products. So that the products like the first one is a cattle powder, including oil, cake, and other concentrates. The second one, coal, including coke and other derivatives. Third one is the component parts and accessories of the automobiles. So this is related to automobiles. Then cotton and woolen textiles, textile related things. Fifth one is a drug. And the sixth one is foodstuffs, including edible oil seeds and oils. So this is in the perspective of consumption. The seventh one is iron and steel, including manufactured products of the iron and steel. And the eighth one, paper related one, including newsprint paper and starboard and everything. And ninth one, that is related to that petroleum and petroleum products. And 10th one, raw cotton, either ginned or unginned, and cotton seeds. Again, this one also under the consumption point of view as well as in the textile point of view. Then 11th one, raw jute, and 12th one is jute textiles, and 13th one is fertilizers, whether it's organic or inorganic or mixed, and everything will comes under these particular Essential Commodities Act. And 14th one is a yarn made wholly from the cottons, and 15th one is our seed items. So they included that seed as a 15th items under this particular act. So the 15th item is seeds of food crops, seeds of fruits and vegetables, seeds of cattle powder, and jute seeds, everything included. So once that seed is included in the Essential Commodity Act, means we have to follow that guidelines given in the Essential Commodities Act. So in order to implement this particular Essential Act 1955 with reference to seeds, Government of India, they passed an order during 13th December 1983 in the name of Seed Control Order. So this is mainly to exercise the power conferred by the Section 3 of the Essential Commodities Act 1955. So this order is passed by the central government during the year 1983. So after introduction of this particular order, the seed sale is regulated by the licensing. So only that license holder alone able to carry out the business of seed selling or exporting or importing. So that license holder also, they have to obey. So they have to do this selling, exporting and importing activities in accordance with the terms and condition of license granted to him under this order. So under this order, the Government of India made a provision for giving a license for the seed sellers. That after introduction of this particular order, the seed sale is regulated by the licensing. So in order to get a license, the applicant, what they have to do is they have to submit a Form A along with the fee Ruby 50 for licensing purpose to the licensing authority. So after receipt of the application from the applicant, that the license granting the authority, if at all everything is in order, they can give a certificate, they can give a license in Form B to the applicant. Suppose the persons have some problem like the following issues with the applicant, at the time the licensing authority, they are empowered to deny with reference to giving of the license to the person. The conditions are: whose early license granted under this order is under suspension, or during the period of such suspensions, their applications is never considered for giving that license. The second condition is whose earlier license granted under this order has been cancelled within a period of 1 year from the date of such cancellation. So under that condition also, that particular person will be denied from giving the that license. The third condition is who has been convicted under Essential Commodities Act 1955. The person applied for that license already convicted under Essential Commodities Act mean that person never given with that license or any order, either convicted under Essential Commodities Act or any order issued there under within 3 years preceding the date of applications. So under all these conditions, the licensing authority they can deny with reference to giving of the license to that particular person. So once that license is given in the form B of that particular order, that license is valid for 3 years from the date of issue of that license. So 3 years is the validity for license. Again, as and when the 3 years over, that license holder they have to apply for the renewal in the form C. So for that purpose also they have to make a payment of rupees 20. So before expiry they have to apply. Suppose that the license is expired, that particular person to forgot to renewal means under that situation they can made within 1 month from the date of expiry of the license. They can apply within 1 month from the date of expiry of the license, but under this case they have to make additional fee of rupees 25 in addition to the renewal fee of 20. So that is a thing. So at any cost they have to renew the license, then only they can continue their seed sale business. So this is regarding that seed renewal. And then once that particular person have that license, they have to follow certain guidelines given in this particular order. Particularly the seed sellers or the seed dealer, they have to essentially display the stock positions and the opening balance and closing balance on daily basis, along with the list indicating prices or rate of different seeds. So they have to display that opening balance and closing balance on daily basis along with price or cost of the different seed material. That also very important. Then another main thing is that seed seller they have to issue cash bill or credit bill to the purchasers, so that sales should be in that at the time of sale they have to issue a cash bill or a credit bill to the purchaser. That also very important. So in order to regulate this particular order, that central government they given responsibility to the state government. So the state government they can appoint a licensing authority, and also they can appoint a inspector in order to monitor that market level operation with reference to that seed sale and the quality of the seeds sold as per this particular order and as per the Essential Commodities Act. So here that state government is empowered with reference to licensing authority, inspector and mode of action for supply and regulations. And that appointment of inspector also again governed by that state government. So they can appoint a person, and their area of operation and everything is they have to assign. Once that seed inspector is assigned, they have the following responsibilities. So the inspector may ask any dealer to give any information with reference to purchase, storage and sale of the seeds. They can seek all these details: purchase details, storage details and sale of seeds. Once they know this purchase, storage and sale details, automatically they can visit that storage godown, and they can find out what actually is there in that godown, and this book balance, everything they can verify. If it is in order, if it is anything is more, they are doing something unwanted. If it is less, they are selling the seeds without giving any cash bill or credit bill. Like that they can assess. So for that purpose, that inspector they always seek that information regarding that purchase details and storage details and the sale of seeds. Apart from that, they can also enter and any premises with reference to that seed stored, and also they can take the sample. That sample will be submitted to the seed testing laboratory for the purpose of knowing the quality. So this is not only for the person doing this particular operation in the domestic level. The same thing is applicable for the export and import related things also. So they can take the sample from the domestic market, and also they can take the sample from the exported material or imported material. That material should be submitted for the quality verification purpose in the seed testing laboratory. And also, if at all anything that seed inspector found guilty with reference to quality of the seed material, they can seize the material. So and they can take a action, and inspectors will give a receipt. So whatever that for inspection purpose and for further taking further action purpose, they can take the records maintained by the that seed sellers. They can take that seed stock registers or seed samples and things for further verification and all those things. So at the time of taking that material along with them, they have to give a receipt. So these are all the material taken from him for the purpose of further verifications. So like that they have to give a receipt. So after that verification everything is over, again whatever that material is, whatever that stock register they taken from the seed seller, that will be given back to him, and then they can withdraw that receipt. So that processes that the seed inspector need to follow. And also the provision of section 100 of the Code of the Criminal Procedure 1973 relating to the search and seizure of shall apply for this case also. So that they can anytime they can enter and they can search and they can seize the property of that material, seize the property if the material is really spurious or inferior in quality. So whatever that material is seized, that should be reported to the magistrate immediately. So as per the that IPC 457 and 458 and the things. The another main thing is that license holder, they have to facilitate all the necessary things with reference to the normal functioning of the seed inspector during their inspection. So that also very very important. So every person, if so required by an inspector, shall be bound to offer all necessary facilities to him for the purpose of enabling him to exercise his power under this class. So this is also very very important. They cannot they cannot prevent the entry of the inspector. They cannot prevent their execution of their normal functions. So that and all given in this particular order. And then time limit for analysis. Whatever that sample is taken by that seed inspector under this order, that is also submitted to the seed testing laboratory for analysis purpose. So the sample is taken under this seed control order and submitted for analysis means, so under this case, that seed analysis they can take 60 days of time. So within 60 days of times they have to communicate the result to the seed inspector. Whereas under Seed Act, whatever that sample is taken, so that also submitted to the seed testing laboratory, and there as per that Seed Act section number the 16, the seed analysis they have to send the report within 30 days, but here the time limit is almost double. So here they can take 60 days. So that within 60 days they have to communicate the results. So this is under the seed control order. Then suspension and cancel of the license. So if at all that person doing some unwanted thing, or they are doing some misrepresentation with reference to the getting licenses, after getting that license also they are doing some unwanted things against that seed control order, means under these conditions that license can be cancelled. So once that license is cancelled, automatically they cannot do that seed business in the market level, and also they are not eligible to apply for license again and again also. And that already I told you everything in the previous slides. So if anybody that seed inspector or something and they cancel the license, and that applicant also given an opportunity to go for the appeal to justify their sites. So for that purpose they have to make a appeal within 60 days from the date of communication of that cancellations. So here for appeal purpose also they have to make a payment of ₹20. So the final decision will be taken by the state governments, so that authority nominated by the state government, so that the decision is the final. And that another thing also I wanted to tell you here. So that at the time of application, at the time of submission of the application for getting the license, the applicant need to furnish the address where in which he is going to do that seed sale operation. In addition to that address, they have to give a engineering drawing of the building where in which they are going to do that particular seed sales, so that everything will be approved. So that address, everything given in the license. So whatever that address specified in the license, there only they have to carry out that seed sale business. Suppose they get a license with one particular address, they are going to do that seed sale business in another address, means this is a highly offense. So they are also punishable. That license also get cancelled. So so at the time of submission of that application itself, they must be very careful. They have to finalize that address alone they have to give. So whatever that specified address is specified in the license, there only they have to carry out that particular seed sale business. So after getting that license, suppose a person wanted to change the location, means the provisions are there, that is amendment of license. So here they have to give a written request along with ₹10. So under this case they can give, I wanted to do that seed business in this particular building, instead of this particular building there, instead of this particular address there, like that. So that provisions also there. So after getting that acceptance only they can change the venue. So without doing this kind of things, they cannot do they are not permitted to do business in another location. So this is also a very, very important thing as far as that seed control order is concerned. And then once that particular person is given with license, means they have to do these activities also. They have to maintain the books and accounts and records with reference to that seed sales, seed purchase, and seeds in stock. All the things they have to maintain, and also they have to submit monthly return by 5th of every month related to his business, as may be directed by the state government. So whatever that guidelines given by the state government, for them they have to submit a monthly return also. So this all the things that license holder need to follow with reference to sale of seeds as per this particular act. So in short, I wanted to make it this particular order. So here that mostly in Tamil Nadu, that licensing authority is a JDA, Joint Director of Agriculture of each and every district is a licensing authority. And that period of validity of the license also 3 years, and renewal they have to do it well in advance, or along with fine they can do it within 30 days from the date of expiry. And time limit for analysis of the sample is normally 60 days, whereas in the case of seed act is 30 days. So this is the things with reference to that seed control order. So after introduction of that seed control order, the seed sales as well as export or import, everything is regulated by proper licensing. Only that license holder alone can carry out this particular business. So again, for getting that license also certain norms are there. So all those norms they have to fulfill. So once they get a license, they have to fulfill that terms and condition as listed in this particular order. So all those things now and then will be verified by the seed inspector. So that seed inspector can book case either under seed act or under that seed control order. If it is the case is booked under seed control order, means the fine and the punishment will be more, because that seed control order is an extension of the Essential Commodities Acts. Once that Essential Commodities Act mean the case, they can approach at the consumer court also. So this is somewhat a very stringent with reference to the person doing some malpractice with reference to that seed quality maintenance and the sale of that poor quality seeds and unwanted things with reference to that seed sales. Again, this particular seed control order, also some amendment also made the year 2006, particularly with reference to seed standard. So with that we are completing that seed control order. The only thing remaining with reference to seed legislation system up in India is a PPVFRA. So as per your syllabus, so that one we are going to discuss in the next class. Thank you very much. If you have any doubt in this, we can post all your queries in the Google Classrooms or in the WhatsApp. And also get ready for tomorrow exam. So tomorrow exam will be conducted by 5 o'clock, so in the evening. So I will prepare a question in the Google form that will be circulated through the WhatsApp group. So that WhatsApp group I will give you that time limit. So within that time limit you have to submit your things. So all your marks will be considered for your that semester exam also. So all of you prepare for your exams. Thank you.